I recognise that I'm an old person in modern society. At 30 plus, I have no riz in me skibbity toilet and me gyat is a common L. But I'm content with this, and I like things the old-fashioned way. I miss when you bought a game, took it home with you, popped it in the console, and away you went with an instant, complete experience. It's why I love the throwback feel of the Nintendo Switch cartridge, and it's why I won't be playing Hades 2 in early access. I realise early access is a fairly common development tool these days, and it has been around long before anyone ever skibbitied. Hades 2 is by no means the first game to do it. The original Hades did for one, and given the broken state so many games launch in now, having an official early access period is better than an unofficial after you've paid full price but before we fix the game. It's nothing personal against Hades 2. I love the first game, and I'm looking forward to playing the sequel. I'm not suggesting games are any worse early access either. You need look no further than Baldur's Gate 3 to see how powerful early access development can be. There's just fundamentally something off about playing a game that isn't finished. I'm sure if I signed up for the technical test or the early access period that will eventually follow it, I'd have a good time. Just on a minute-to-minute level, playing Hades was great. When I got especially powerful or lucky in Balatro, it reminded me of the best boon combinations in Hades, and I know that Balatro will be very high on my GOTY list. The problem is, I like Hades for its gameplay and its story in equal measure. In early access, not only is the story unfinished, but various elements of it will be changed, cut, or added by the time the full release rolls around. That means it's less like reading the first few chapters of a novel, and instead like looking at a writer's scribbled notes before they're fully pieced together. I can't handle meeting a character and either pausing the story for months or learning they've been cut from the team completely. I played Hades intensely in deep and short bursts, not stretching the experience out over months. I want to dive in deep for keeps again, but that means waiting until I can play from beginning to end in one run. When done well, early access can be a crucial tool for game development, and for Supergiant, has great form with learning important lessons and making fantastic refinements through early access play. For some players, it's just exciting on a conceptual level to be involved in that process, as well as Hades 2 itself likely being very fun to play. I don't think this is the wrong option for Hades 2. I'm not opposed to it because of any impact it might have on the final product, and nor is my objection based on the notion that Supergiant has outgrown this process. I just don't want to play a small chunk of Hades 2 that will then transform and potentially leave early access threads unfinished. Supergiant is upfront that this will be a period of testing and change, and I respect that this method is what gets the small but mighty studio its best results. It's just not something I care to be a part of when I suspect it will make playing the finished version feel just a little bit worse, even if the overall game is better for it. I have no doubts that Hades 2 will be a stronger game for its time in early access, and that those participating in it will positively shape the direction of the game and enjoy themselves while they're doing it. And once they've done the grunt work, I'll swoop in and play the real thing.